networking as it is. And I think here we have to do the DNS name next to this one. And I think we have to give access outputs basics. Whatever we have given up to now it's correct declarations. And after that next advanced tags review and create. So let us target check the okay, let me go back actually. Let me do the previous resource name that is this is the resource group, but this is my standard resource group. So let me go back to the first tree first. Let it get validated. So I think you can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay. So you can see my screen, right? Create Kubernetes cluster.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think you can able to see my screen. So here we will discuss about the Kubernetes namespaces. Okay. So actually here that whatever the pods we will create, so those all pods can be having a replica sets, and all these pod and replica set will be there in the deployment, and all the deployments are actually we have to associate with the service. So cluster IP service, load balancer service, if you are making that as if you remember, we have created load balancer also. Load balancer, this load balancer service, what it will do, it will navigate, or if there is a large amount of data is coming on one part, then it will shard, or it will scale the whatever the data or requests we are getting to the other replica sets, and it will balance the load. That is the load balancer mechanism what we are following in the Kubernetes. Okay. So the in the this is a declarative approach. Whatever the YAML files we will create, no. So and we'll create namespace and metadata. So all these are actually declarative approach. Declarative approach means you have to create an YAML file mentioning the API version, kind, metadata, name, all these details. So those kind of approach is called as declarative approach. Imperative approach means through the command line. If you are creating, that is an imperative approach. So these are the two different approaches we have in the Kubernetes to create anything. If you create a pod also, last time we have created the pod and replica sets via YAML, and also we have created the data, the replica sets and pod with the command line. Whatever you are creating via command line, that kind of approach is called as imperative approach. Whatever the declaration we are giving via YAML file, that is called as imperative approach. YAML file is a key and value base where here the API is the API version is the key, V1 is the value, kind is the key, namespace is the value, metadata, and also metadata is also a key, sub key is name, and dev3 is the value. So like that we can able to create any pod or replica set or namespace. So here this namespaces, no, they will contain this namespaces, they will allow us to split the resource into different groups. Suppose if you are having one dev resource, and if one particular resource is there, and you want to shard or scale the scale the request, we can able to do via this um, namespaces. We can able to make an different an environments like a namespace development environment, QA environment, and also staging environment. Like this, we can able to segregate the same resource. We can able to separate them with different namespaces. Suppose a person is doing some testing in the dev. That means he has not done that. Suppose if I created a pod in the dev, that what is that mean is that won't be reflecting in the QA. In the QA again, if you want to create means you have to run that particular YAML file, and and also you want to check. Suppose if you want to do the staging, and again you want to run the YAML file in the staging, and you want to create the pods over there, or pods or deployment or service or whatever it is. So that is how the namespaces will work. Namespaces are actually it will segregate the or split the resource into different groups, and each group will act as individually. There won't be any relationship between one and other group. In the real time, what is the main thing is, uh, whatever you will do, it will be there in the development side. Whatever you will do, it will be there in the development side. And if you are whatever you have developed is okay for your manager, then he will ask you to put it in the QA and test. So these testers, whoever this DevOps testers. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think you can hear me now. Okay. So I think you can hear me now. Okay. Huh? Okay. So what I am mentioning here, this namespaces are actually, they will make a resource to split into different environments. So whatever in the real time you will see the development environment. From there, yeah, whatever you have implemented in the dev, if it is okay for your manager, he will ask you to push the code or put the code in the QA, and from the QA it will go for the staging. If it is tester is successfully executed your test cases, suppose your test case is as simple as you have to create a pod and you have to create replica set. So if that is the scenario, he will check in the QA and he will push it to the staging. Okay, he will push it to the staging. From there, it will go to the development. Okay, that's how the real time environment will be in general. Okay, so this is how the namespaces will split the resource into different parts. Each part is actually individual again. Okay, and as they are not same, they are actually individual. Okay, so the very next one is, so whatever I have created, that is now it's Kubernetes is now AKS cluster is created now. So let me go to the. So here I want to discuss one more thing. Kubernetes will always list the resources from default namespace unless we provide the proper information. If you are not giving it a development or stage or something, it won't. It will take to the default service. The whatever the means by default namespace it will take, but it won't if you are not specifying any dev or dev2 or like the QA or staging environments, it won't consider. It will take the default namespace, whatever is available in your AKS cluster. It will create a predefined name and it will deploy your application out there. Okay, so The very next one, I will just share one more thing. So you'll get some more idea here. I will save this one. Can you able to see my screen? Hello?
No, sir.
You have to tell now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the very next one is actually this. Here we have. Yeah, so the very next one is actually I will tell some more information about Kubernetes namespace. So let me just show you here. So let me go here. Okay. So you can see here I have this. It will be looking like this. So in general, so the Kubernetes namespace again, whatever the cluster is there, it will be having the node. It will be having the node. In that node, it will be having default namespace, or what if you are creating dev namespace or QA namespace, that will be I mean there. I mean below the node, and then again this namespace will have service pod and deploy, and also service pod and deploy. So all this information for app one, all this service pod and deploy will be there. App 2 also will be having service pod and deploy. Based on the service and getting the external IP, we can able to go to the application. That is how we have done in the last classes. Okay. So here, that's what we have done in the last class. This is the overview about the Kubernetes namespace. Kubernetes namespace says are below the node, and this node is above the below the cluster. So whatever you are creating AKS cluster, that is here, and below that we are having the node, and in that each node again we have this namespaces, and again in this each namespace we will have different apps, and for each app again we have a service pod and deploy. That's how they are segregated. Okay, I hope you got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the very next one is like we will associate our resource with the we will associate our resource with the AKS cluster. Whatever AKS cluster we created, we will connect to our local environment. So for that, what we want to do is we want to click on this connect. So just go back to this AKS, whatever there here. Go to the PowerShell. Go to the PowerShell. So now you here that whatever the you have copied, no, just mention that here. Just copy this particular subscription I have, and also use that here, paste it, let it run, and after that we will go for the AKS cluster. Just click on this and go back here and just copy and paste it here. AKS, that is what is resource name. Other one is like my AKS cluster name. Do you want to override? I am giving yes. And also one more is like cluster already exist. Cube config file I am updating. So now if I go for the kubectl space get space nodes, I will find the nodes whatever there underneath me. So that is I am having one node actually. So even I go for the wide -o wide, I can able to find the all the where it is, what is the cluster name, what is the container runtime, all this information I can able to see. And also I can able to see the namespace. If you want to see the particular namespace, okay, you can go for kubectl space, you know, uh, get namespace. Namespace shortcut is ns, so that I am giving ns. So by default I have here default and these and public and system. So as I told you, if you are creating any pod or something, by default it will go for the, okay, by default actually it will go for the default namespace if you are creating any pod or something. Yeah, okay. So now if you want to create a namespace, if you want to create a namespace, in that case, in that in that case we will go for, in that case we will go for kubectl space create space ns namespace name space space, and I have to create an dev1. Let us think I want to create a dev1 namespace. So I have to create a namespace like this. So if I go and collect down this namespace, so again here I have the particular namespace, and if I want to go for dev2, I can able to create the dev2. Now again, if you want to list down them, you can able to list down that dev1 as well as dev2 namespaces here. Okay, so yeah, so and also we can also get to the default details of the namespace kubectl space, get all -n default. Okay, default. Okay, so this is like it will get all information about the default namespace. So if you want to check the IP address or cluster IP or a secondary IP of a dev2 namespace, we can go for dev1 here first, for example. Then it will give me the information. Okay, for now there is no allocation happened. That's why it's not, we have not associated that with any um, service. Okay, so yeah, then actually if you want to create this particular app or service, so then uh, if you are creating, the last time we have created a service, no, like that, if you are creating, then it will go and get the secondary IP in the dev1 namespace, and it will give us the secondary IP. Then we can able to run the application over there. Just the same steps whatever we have done with the service earlier. Same thing actually we have to do. Okay, so I have one. I have to go for one kubectl. First, I will go for the cloud, whatever I have, CD space cloud and drive. So here I have here this replica set. So let us think I want to deploy something. So let me give here the deploy information. So let me go and manifest imperative approach. Okay, so I will just take it and I will copy everything I have here. Let me give here vi space. Let us think my file name is nginx deploy. Okay, dot yml. Okay, so this I have one approach here. So let me paste the coming for the previous one. Wait. Okay, I will okay. So next I have to give here the deployment details. So what I will do is I will take this. I have a file, but when I am doing the copy paste, I am getting something else. Okay, so I have a file here. So let me connect with the other file. Okay, so let me give here the other file. Mhm. Mhm. No, it's not copying. 1 second. 1 second. Download the will paste here. Yeah, it's there available now. So let me give here paste. Okay. So this is my deployment, whatever I have. So in this I have mentioned about this deploy app nginx and also labels and also replica set I am creating and also my app name is app1 nginx and also image I am creating is cube nginx app1 nginx is an server actually. Okay, so with this server how many requests are there, what is the cpu size, and also what is the memory limits, that and all we can able to mention here. Now what I will do is I will go for the right queue here. So I am mentioning whatever I have created. Now I will go back to the this previous step, that is to apply this kubectl. Second, um, to apply this kubectl. So what I want to do now, I want to give kubectl space apply kubectl space apply, and also I have to give -f, and I want to give here the particular nginx ngn YAML. Okay, so once I do that, so that particular deployment will go success, and if I get the information, so kubectl get, and also I have okay now. So So now whatever this deployment I have created, so that particular deployment I can able to run. Okay, I can able to run that particular namespace. Okay, by default, whatever I have created, kubectl get namespace default. See now the deployment of the ng nix server has been happened, and also the replica set is also created. But whatever the default uh, namespace I have created, under that default namespace, this deployment as well as the replica sets are created. Okay, so this is how we want to create a namespace, and also we have to create a YAML file, and we have to create a server under the namespace as I showed you in the first picture. And under the AKS cluster, we will have the this particular namespaces, and also under the namespace. So under this namespace, we will have these regions, and in that again we will have, and in that again we will have apps, right? So here I have this app one that is there under the AKS, whatever we have created. Okay, even this namespace, under this we have this deployment, and that particular deployment is actually running. It is actually running. I have not associated with the external IP. I just this is an application where what we can deploy and we can able to give to the customer, so they can able to run this replica set or this ng nginx server. Okay, yeah, that's all about. Tomorrow we will see the extension of this namespaces. Okay, do you have any doubts, Praveen?
No, sir.
Praveen, we are going. Okay, I will just stop the recording.